Tim Chalamet, and now it's on my resume. It's not my face they see, cause they don't know me, and that's okay. These are the parts I play, filling in plot holes with all sorts of roles, cause there's no small roles, no small roles, no small roles.
Welcome to No Small Roles. This is the show where I speak with fellow actors about their careers and about some of their smaller roles in big movies and TV, and how these roles are, in fact, not at all small for the actors who play them. Now, today's guest is my friend Forrest Weber. For anyone who has just watched on Netflix Black Rabbit, it is obvious to you that he is one of the most extraordinarily talented actors that are working today. And he is no doubt going to be known as the next Gary Oldman, Joe Pesci, Sam Rockwell, and will be a household name as he is already in my house. Forrest, welcome to the show.
Too kind. Thank you for the welcome, and thank you for maybe the nicest words anyone's ever said about me.
It's so true. You knocked our socks off, but I'll get to that. So everyone knows you from, you've done a lot of stuff. You've done a lot of stage, which I don't have listed here. So first, those who know you from stage, they know you from those things. But I personally know you from American Odyssey. There's Law and Order, East New York, Blacklist, Gotham, The Knick, Unforgettable, Castle Rock, Black Rabbit, Film, Spotlight, Tater Tot and Patton, Pike County, and like I said, several stage productions. And you're also a video director, like music video director?
Yes, I do dabble in that. Yes.
Is that because of your wife?
It is. It is.
That's cool. And your wife, her name is Lauren James.
Lauren James, that's right. Yeah. In fact, we just got back from Nashville for a trip. We were recording a new album of hers down there, so I'm really excited about that.
I read that her genre is coastal country. What is
that? Yes, that's exactly right. Yes, that's it's kind of like this beachy country lane that she's carving out for herself that I thoroughly enjoy. Yeah.
That is cool. I'll have to check it out. I've never been a country fan, but coastal country sounds more appealing.
It's definitely the stuff you'd sing around like a bonfire on the beach, gathered around with a little like conga drum and a guitar,
All right. I'll give it a try. I'm getting a little old to get near fire. No one trusts me. I have a question that I ask people early on in the show. I like to start with the most emotional question first.
Sure.
So are you ready?
I'm ready.
Do you, God, how do I say it? Do you prefer a grilled cheese with or without tomato?
Anybody who is close to me in life knows I'm a without tomato guy. I'm well aware that's probably in the minority. I'm well aware I might be the oddball in this situation, but yeah.
I get it. I mean, I wouldn't generally choose a grilled cheese without a tomato, but I'm not going to say no to a tomato. So I respect that. Now I feel like I don't know you very well because I didn't know that about you.
It's okay. We haven't eaten a meal together in probably 10 years. So we need to make sure we just do that sometime soon.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm trying to think, did we ever maybe on set?
I was assuming on set. I feel like I do remember sitting around set with you, but yeah.
It's been 11 years.
Yes,
so you are a smart guy. You are from San Antonio, Texas. You married the amazing Lauren James. You like sports. So clearly you're a very intelligent guy.
I appreciate it.
Why are you an actor then?
I got bit by the bug. What can I say? I remember when I was in sixth grade, it was kind of our first opportunity to choose an elective course. And, I didn't really want to play the violin anymore or do anything like that. I couldn't sing, so choir was out. And,
wait, so you do play the violin though?
No,
Okay.
I learned for a year or two growing up. Don't
Okay.
think I've touched one since.
A role may ask for it, so be prepared.
Well, in that case, I can absolutely play the violin.
Yes,
So.
I've seen him do it. He's amazing. Yeah.
But yeah, it was more like some friends were taking the class, and I wanted to be in class with them, and so I signed up for theater. And then all the credit in the world to my sixth grade teacher who really made me fall in love with it. Suzanne Martin pulled me aside one day and said, "Hey, I think you'd be great for this, one act play competition we're doing. Do you want to stay after class and audition?" I was like, "Okay, sure, whatever."
Was she at that premiere party that your wife had arranged for you? This teacher?
No, actually, she's still back in San Antonio, and
That's fair.
our party was up here in New York City. But yeah, I do still keep in touch with the
That's
teacher.
cool.
Yeah, that started it all. In
And
fact, I think.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go on.
Oh no, I was gonna say I think she got a little shout out in like a Boston Globe article I did as well, or at least the play she put me in got a little shout out. So
That's cool. I mean, she deserves the credit if that's what lit
exactly,
the spark.
exactly.
So before we continue, we have a little segment coming up later on in the show called The Kiss and Tell, where people share a little behind the scenes story, something positive, negative, or whatever you want it to be. In one word, can you tease your kiss and tell or kiss and tell? So I got to get my pen.
Yes, in one word.
You can tell more than one, so it could be a couple of words.
I could right. I could go a few routes with this one, but I'll give you sweaty.
Sweaty. Wow, that sounds like a great. I can't wait. Okay, sweaty. So how does little Forrest in San Antonio taking this first elective acting class go from that to?
I mean, I'm not gonna get paid off. We killed U.S. soldiers. Mr. Decker, it said that you helped go after the big-time pharmaceuticals and the tobacco companies. I figured I could count on you to help me with this. Well, but you'll tell them that it wasn't my fault, right? I mean, I was only following an order. I was only doing exactly what they told me to do.
They're not very successful in helping you with that.
No, they tried though.
Yeah, they try. Spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't seen it.
Yeah.
You get hit by a car, right? Don't they run you
That's
down?
right.
Or something?
That's right.
Yeah. Sorry.
My cousin reminds me all the time. Look out for vans every time you.
I've seen worse things happen to you since.
Yeah, that's true too. That's true too.
Luckily, in the fake world. So, how do you go from this kid taking his first acting class in San Antonio to making your way into the business?
Yeah, it really did all start in school. Doing the play competitions in school and stuff. Like, they started winning the competitions and started getting recruited by the local high school who had a really serious department and took it very seriously and had a great reputation for putting actors in conservatory programs, despite it just being a standard public high school in Texas. But yeah, so they kind of recruited from the middle school play competitions and tournaments and things like that, and then so I got just heavily involved in their department throughout high school, and we were traveling then for speech and debate and theater tournaments, and one act play competitions, and yeah, the more success that I had in those things and the more fun that I had doing, I was like, this really does feel like what I am kind of meant to be doing, what I should be doing. So yeah, I decided to go to a conservatory program, went to BU in Boston, and had a great actor training program there. A lot of great teachers and mentors from that era of my life as well. And then I moved to New York right after college, thinking that I was going to go move to New York to become an actor. And probably 4 out of the first 6 jobs sent me back to Boston somehow.
I was going to ask you because I'm like, I wasn't sure if you were a Boston local because I met you in Boston. And I see a lot of your jobs are, I don't know if they're Boston booked as a Boston local, but a lot of shows that I know or have worked on as well.
Yeah, they were a lot of them. Most of them were local hires in Boston. Yeah, coming
That
through casting there. But yeah,
that's how you build the credits, and those are great credits to get. I mean, this role on American Odyssey, it was a huge opportunity.
amen, brother. It really was. It that kind of. In fact, that I had got cast in I had been cast in a couple of pilots for NBC and ABC before that. That also shot in, I think, one, if not both of them, shot in Boston.
Was that
Uh,
Hatfields and McCoys and Broad Squad? Is that correct? I
yes, you
remember
are
those
on it.
casting. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, yeah, and so, but those didn't air, and so American Odyssey, I think, was the first like actual footage that I had. That clip that you just showed was like the first actual professional footage that I had,
Wow.
and I wasn't even repped yet. I didn't have any reps or
Oh
anything,
my
so
God.
I know I kind of my college showcase didn't really turn into much. I took a few meetings from people that kind of really turned me off. And
Yeah.
so I was unrepped early. And I took a USB drive of that scene that you just showed, and I went to
Yeah.
one of those like pay to play intro things at a company that it was kind of like a one-on-one, but it's I don't even think the company that I did it exists anymore. Um,
Okay.
but I met my first agent there. I handed him that USB, and I was like, if, here's footage of me doing something, so please watch it and call me if you're interested. And that agent is no longer with the agency, but I've been with that same agency for over 10 years now.
That's amazing. And that's cool that you both show each other that loyalty, especially when you're
Yeah,
rising to the levels you're at. Though that scene, I left out like half of it. Like that's a huge scene. You've got two more scenes in that project. I had one quick scene in it, but it's obvious early on how good you are. Was there any?
thank you.
It was obvious to you though earlier when you were kind of figuring things out that this was something you were going to do. You had a natural talent. Was it the attention you got from it, or you just felt like this is right? You're, or was it the people you're meeting? What was it about it that you knew it was the right thing?
Yeah, it's exactly what you just said. It's just that like indescribable "this is right" feeling. Early on in life, that was coming on stage, from that palpable kind of visceral feeling, almost, when an audience is reacting to your stuff on stage, and there's like that relationship you feel between actor and audience. I think that was kind of the early on feeling in life that I'm like, this is an adrenaline rush. It just feels right. Like so much more so than, as much as I love football, it feels a lot more like where I should be, as opposed to like lining up in the backfield, um, but yeah. And then later on in my career, once you get that first, taste of like, solving problems on a film set, you're like, this is, it just felt like the gears were turning in all the right ways, and it was finally synced and moving well, and if that makes any sense. But yeah, it
No,
is
it
exactly
does.
what you said. It just felt right, and it's just been, I've just had to like trust that, deep down feeling, and ride it.
You obviously, I mean, because you did the conservatories and stuff. What kind of training did you have, and what kind of I guess method? What did you connect with? What did you think worked for you,
Yeah,
or does
great
work
question.
for you?
No, great question. I think really what worked well for me, in the BU program, was the fact that we really did kind of spend some time with a lot of different techniques and ideologies and methods and things like that. And we weren't like, stay in one lane, just beat you over the head with Meisner or something. And not to shade anyone who
No, no,
who
no.
operates that way. Just for me, it was, I found it very beneficial to kind of bounce from thing to thing, semester to semester. Or we would have 2 or 3 months or 6 months, depending on what it was, of like really intense focus on a
Mhm.
certain technique or ideology, and then we would move on. And what I think that really helped me with was like kind of gleaning which aspects of Grotowski's physical work worked for me, which parts of Meisner worked for me, which parts of John Lipsky's dream worked for me, which parts of Linklater voice and speech do I really need to think into when I'm warming up, and so it kind of creates this very custom hodgepodge mix of habits within each actor, which like when you hop on stage or in front of a camera, you've hopefully just turned a bunch of those into habits, right? Like, and you're not thinking directly into, oh, well, I'm going to use this form of weapon work right now.
I was going to ask you that. Like, do you don't consciously choose, I'm going to use this thing right now. It's just, it's all there because you've built that foundation.
Typically, yeah. There have been, like certain instances where, in the prep and rehearsal stages where I'm going, oh, yeah, actually this, would be really cool to do some color work here or something, you know what I mean? But yeah, no, typically I just try to get the text as deep in me as possible and learn it and know it backwards, and then just kind of open up the play, really, where you're just like trusting old habits and see what comes up. Yeah.
And so when you eventually go to New York and you start making that happen, would you say you were mostly doing theater at that point, or were you focused on, I got to get more film and TV credits?
Yeah, no, I was doing a lot of theater. I moved to New York to do an off-Broadway play with my best friend, Justin, and we did This Is Our Youth off-Broadway like right away. And I had plans, in fact, to move to LA. I had some friends like that we were going to live with and the whole 9 yards. And I was doing that play. I got cast in the first, I think it was Hatfields and McCoy's pilot. And I went back to Boston, and then I was kind of just bouncing back and forth for a little while between Boston and New York.
In that role, I'm sorry to interrupt, but that role in Hatfields and McCoy's, was that supposed to be a potentially large recurring role in the production?
It was I would say small recurring. Yeah, it was only one scene in the pilot, but it was billed as probable recurring, I believe was what
there said. Are no small roles.
Right. Forrest. I know. I'm gonna have that. I'm gonna have your song stuck in my head all day.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, don't apologize. I loved it. I was vibing.
All right.
But yeah.
Your wife can perform it.
There you go. There you go.
Okay, so during that, you get that off. You do the off-Broadway play with your friend.
I was doing a lot of theater. I've worked in a bunch of of the smaller theaters all over New York. If it's a smaller theater, I've probably acted in it. I'm not. I wish I was talented in the singing department, but that's not what people want to hear from me. I promise you. So I've stayed away from a lot of the Broadway musical scene, the off-Broadway musical scene.
Sure.
But yeah, if it's theater was the first love. I'm always willing.
Do you have a preference? Because they're very different things. Acting is acting, but they are very different.
They really are. Yeah, I feel like currently in my career, there's, and I feel like probably a lot of it is being a product of your environment, and you can only bring to the table as much as you've been experiencing in life, and lately for me that has been film and TV. So I feel like that is, how I'm operating right now as an artist, just very much in that lane and focusing on that. But yeah, I mean, there's a reason that even the biggest names in the world come back to do a straight play on Broadway. There's a reason I paid out the butt to sit front row when Denzel was on Broadway.
I'm sure.
Yeah, it's there's theater. Like, how could you not love it? If it's a juicy role in a project that I want to work on, man, I'm not saying no. Yeah, I don't like to put up any restrictions, boundaries, or barriers. Exactly.
Yeah, I was I grew up around theater, so I'm not a big theater person, which I'm sort of embarrassed to say, speaking to someone like you, but
no, please.
But I wish I didn't have those boundaries, which you do not have.
But you know what's great is like you say you're not, but you're a fantastic actor, so it's never too late. You know, I'm serious. Like it is never too late. That's what people tell me all the time. Oh, I always wanted to be an actor. I'm like, so go do it. Get
They
in
need
there.
actors of all ages. True.
Exactly.
So before the obvious the big opportunity that I mentioned in the opening, before oh shoot, what was I going to ask you? Oh, well, before that happened, how are you surviving during the strike, post-strike? Because it has been sparse for most people. I know for some younger people, they're doing pretty well. But how'd you survive before that big thing we're going to talk about?
Yeah, it's I mean, just I feel like my entire career has been kind of the ebbs and flows of like amazing job, 6 months of downtime, amazing job, 8 months of downtime. You know, yeah, there's an ebb and flow to it, right? And you kind of got to just really find your contentness and comfort in that, and try not to worry about it too much. That being
And
said,
live a life outside of it too, as you
Right.
do, being a
Right.
a happily married man and your sports and all that.
Exactly. So I was gonna say, yeah, exactly. I was very blessed for a number of years to have a part-time job, you know, working for the Brooklyn Nets in basketball equipment, and so that was always a fun way to spend 2 days a week at the arena and around sports, and outside of that, yeah, the music with my wife has taken a much larger you know, place in my heart and in my life.
Sure, of course.
After a few years, yeah, I'm fallen in love with the production side of that, and then engineering stuff and making music, and yeah, it's good to just have other things to focus on. It's Black Rabbit was a very fortunate gig to come across post strike, which it was not lost on me, how lucky that was. I was not taking a second of that for granted, believe me. But yeah, it real quick, if you don't mind,
Please.
This quote from it's a Jacob Riis quote, actually, that Greg Popovich made pretty famous and propelled it, I think, into new heights. But he has it posted around the arena in San Antonio in like 90 different languages. But the rough gist of it is, when nothing else seems to help, I go back and look at a stonecutter who's hammering away at his rock perhaps 100 times without so much as a crack showing in it. Yet on the 101st blow, that rock will split into two, and he knows it was not that blow that did it, but all that had come before. And I
like that.
I try to remind myself that so often as an actor, that, this audition might be going terribly, but it's still due tomorrow at 9 a.m. And, pound the rock one more time, so.
Well said.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to ask you because, again, it's one little step back to the theater. I saw that you worked 3 shows in the New York Deaf Theater.
Yes.
Did that experience help lead to Black Rabbit? Or
it did.
Completely? Okay.
Well,
tell us about that.
Yes. In a fun way as well, actually. So Ann Tomasetti is an actress who I worked with in one of those New York Deaf Theater shows.
Yeah.
And then when I auditioned for Black Rabbit, one of the scenes was one of the scenes where my character was using ASL, and so they actually ran my audition tape by Troy Kotzer and his team, who is the actor who is deaf and plays my father and is an
recent Oscar winner.
Yeah, no big deal. Amazing human being, by the way. But they ran it by his crew, going, is it, he's legit, right? We just want to double check.
Yeah.
And actually, and Ann Tomasetti, who I had worked with for New York Deaf Theater, it is his like consultant and was working with his interpreting team on the project already. So she knew I was getting the role before I knew.
Wow.
And yeah, so she was like, oh, I know Forrest. Yes, that the signing is legit. It's real. So it was a very cool small world occurrence there.
But I
yeah.
imagine, was that something in your special skill, say an Actors Access, or that your agent relayed that you could do that? Because I imagine that was somewhat of a prerequisite for this role.
Correct. Yeah, I think the initial breakdown said you didn't have to know it already. You can learn it, but you would have been
That would have been
it would have been it would have
challenging.
been pretty tough. Yeah, it would have been pretty
Yeah,
tough for somebody playing a coda, essentially. You know what I mean? It
sure.
has to be. And so the reason, I should back up and preface this. My older sister is deaf, so I grew up
Oh, I didn't know that.
a
Okay.
soda, a sibling of or I guess I'm a soda now, sibling of a deaf adult.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I did learn sign, from a very early age growing up. However, my sister is like 8 or 9 years older than me, so she moved out of the house when I was still pretty young, and then I moved across the country to New York. So I was a little rusty. I definitely had to
Sure.
brush up on my skills and refresh. But yeah, it has helped in countless ways, I feel like.
Let's go to a clip of that. This scene, I was just like, oh my God, my wife's like, this guy is so good. I'm like, yeah, I know him. I'm not super well, but I'm like, I know him. But here it is.
Good mark. Dad, I know that you have ties with Vince or whatever, but I need you to tell me it's okay. I gotta turn up the heat. You understand? Like, what are people gonna think?
It's just incredible. I can't imagine. I'm sure a lot of it's on the page, but I can't imagine anyone else playing this role as you did. That's why it was so exciting to watch you, because you were so unpredictable. That's why I kind of mentioned Gary Oldman and Sam Rockwell. You never know how they're going to do it. You know, it's going to be something different. It is so engaging to watch. Tell me about it. Just tell
That's
me
so
everything.
kind.
I
That's
mean
so
it.
kind. Thank you. No, yeah, no, I'm sorry. I'm just floored by your
No,
compliments. What was the question? Yeah,
no. I'm just like,
thank you.
how obviously they screen you for, you can do the ASL,
Mhm.
and to boot, you also can act like pretty darn well. So how did this opportunity really, I assumed there were callbacks. There must have been callbacks.
There was, yeah. Only one actually. I had a 30-minute Zoom call with Jason Bateman. And it was
Because this is his baby.
It is. It is. I will I've said it in a few interviews before already, but I'll say it again. I was like, I'm gonna feel like I'm in debt to him for the rest of my life, I'm sure.
But it's got to be mutual, because he needed you to be as good as you were. And I'm sure you brought so much more than I can imagine they even anticipated.
That's very kind.
So,
I appreciate that. Yeah, it's they did seem very happy, with where we took the character. And yeah, he all the credit to Jason, because I know he he kind of went to bat for me in the role.
because you've worked a lot, but you weren't necessarily a known commodity.
No,
I
not at all.
imagine.
Yeah, still not. Yeah, but no, they probably wanted a name in the role. I'm sure, but yeah, Jason, like, he directed the first two episodes, so he really got to cast it. And yeah, I'm very thankful that he instilled as much trust as he did in me. But he's amazing. Yeah, I could sing his praises all day.
He's great. I mean, did that scare you, or were you like, this is a huge responsibility, I'm going to live up to it?
Yes, but yes,
Yeah.
both. Yeah, 100%. It was. I think it was a little bit of like oh my gosh, like, what am I doing in this room? On the first day of rehearsal. At the same time, like when I was going into it, I mentioned my best friend Justin earlier. He gave me just a great reminder, like on day one of filming, and I really feel like it kind of relaxed me. And he just said, "Yo, don't be afraid to like take up your space. You know, like you're there for a reason. Take up your space." And so yeah, that was a very healthy reminder going into it to not, you know, be intimidated by who's sitting across the table in the scene. But yeah, all the credit in the world to Jason and Jude and our creators Zach and Kate. I mean, they really just they saw that we were cooking something special and let us just roll with the punches and roll with the tide. And it was a very, very special project and experience for sure.
It's so good. I mean, working with these, like you said, not being nervous about working with these people across the table. I mean, Jude Law and Bateman, he was in Silver Spoons when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I don't know if you even know what that is.
Yeah, I do. But yeah.
It's amazing though, watching him in this. It's such dark material, but yet he's still able to bring the humor, which is so impressive.
Yes, it really is.
But working with such pros, and I know you're so well trained and you have a lot of a TV experience at this point. What was that like? Really, just you're the bad guy in this movie.
Yeah. It's it was like, first of all, there was a ton to learn from how Jason and Jude operate, and as well as Troy Kotzer and Laura Linney, who directed episodes 3 and 4, and Ben Siminoff and Justin Kurtz. It was just an incredible team of people. To every you know corner you turn, you can glean something really special from somebody who's way more accomplished than I am. You know, so I was just constantly trying to be like a sponge and just soak up as much knowledge as possible. And Jason and everybody were very giving and willing to share all their knowledge and spend their time discussing and being malleable and collaborative. And you know, it was cool. Like I got to really ask Jason where the talent for, you know, directing comes from. Like, was that something you sought out specifically, or is it something that you just kind of honed over the years of, you know, 30 plus 40 plus years on set? You know, and it was more the latter. It was but you know, he was just so generous and giving with his knowledge about, look, I know how to articulate exactly what I want, and I know how to surround myself with the people who can make that happen. So, you know, just constantly taking away like little tidbits of knowledge from Jason and Jude and Laura and Zach and Kate and the whole team. So yeah.
I know it's called acting, but you are not at all this guy. You're not him at all. And I think a lot of people who watch him might be like, oh, he's got to be, you know, kind of an edgy kind of a guy, but you exude this lightness and warmth. How did you find that guy in you?
Yeah, you know, it's kind of going back to what I mentioned earlier about like being kind of products of our environment. It's like the first line in The Departed, right? Like, I don't want to be a product of my environment. I want my environment to be a product of me. And it's like I usually try to at least bird's eye view, kind of zoom out and examine where this person comes from a little bit, and kind of try to find the ways in which, like, you know, if you had these external factors, you know, thrust upon you, you know, you just try to find these little places where you can meet in the middle. Like, I could understand how this decision gets made, which leads to this one, and I can understand how this decision gets made, which leads to this one. And so, yeah, I think with Junior especially, it was one of those situations where, like, hurt people often hurt people. And so yeah, just trying to not steer into the you know, stereotypical like Coney Island goon and be like, okay, so what makes him human? Like, where
which this easily could have been that.
Right.
Did you have any idea this would be the success it has been on Netflix?
No, I mean, not really. You never, I try to never, you know, count any chickens before they hatch or anything like that.
Especially in this business. Yeah.
Yeah, especially in this business. Which like, that your kiss and tell story that I got for you kind of touches on that. So I
It's
won't.
coming up soon.
Yeah, no worries, no rush.
Okay.
No rush. I got it. I'm free today. We're good.
All right, we're doing 3 hours.
But yeah, it was I forgot where I was going with that. But yeah.
No, well, no, we were talking about the success of it. No, it's just
sorry.
I'm not a TV. I work a lot on TV, so don't tell anyone, but I'm not a huge TV fan. And I knew immediately I was hooked on the show right away. So because it has a very cinematic film vibe to it.
Yes.
And it's so fresh and not TV-ish.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
yes, exactly.
Yeah, it's not a
Definitely.
procedural. So I'll take those jobs, everyone.
No, I know.
Now,
It's,
given the success of it and how amazing you are in it, you must be getting tons of attention now. I was talking to a friend the other day who's, I probably shouldn't say this, who's a filmmaker. He's like, yeah, I just pitched that guy the other day for this project. I imagine there's a lot of that you don't maybe know that's going on behind the scenes, but you must be feeling some nibbles.
Yeah, definitely. I like you said, yeah, I imagine I hope there's a few more
I'm
going
sure there
on behind the scenes, but yeah, I've it's already led to at least a couple neat doors opening up for me. I'm filming a thriller out in LA next week. So I'm excited about that.
Break a leg.
Thank you. Yeah. But yeah, it has been it's definitely been, like kind of navigating some new waters. I forget, when I show up at the bagel shop down the street in my pajamas that a few people have seen the show and want to take a photo, and I'm like, oh yeah. My bad.
You're a standout. Of course, everyone's going to be like, and you have such a unique look too. So I imagine like, I know that guy.
Yeah, I guess that has been kind of a little more surprising, or I didn't really anticipate that. But yeah.
Do you like that, or is it like, oh, this is weird?
It's fine for now. Yeah. No.
Okay.
I can't complain, right? Like what a good problem to have if I didn't like it. You know what I mean? So
your wife must be so excited for you.
Yeah, very much so. She's very,
and your family.
Very proud. I'm very, very lucky that they've always been super supportive. But I feel like it's a little easier now.
Now, given the success of this, is there a slight fear, and I don't mean to instill this in you if it's not there, that maybe that is the best job you'll ever have?
Yes, of course. I said it while I was on set. I was like, well, how does it get better? Like, it's all downhill from
How
here.
does it get better?
How does it get better? I
never know.
Chris Coy, who plays Babbitt, my cohort in the series.
He was in that movie Killing of Two Lovers. He was so good in that.
Yes, he was, and yes, he was. Yeah, he's great. He's become a really dear friend in life. And yeah, that's we joke all the time, like, well, it's all downhill from here, because it was
better than not having the opportunity, though.
Right, for sure.
I have no doubt, though, there will be huge opportunities coming your way. Is there any advice for up and coming actors? Something you wish you shared some advice already, but anything you wish you had known coming up in the business?
Ooh, something I wish I had known.
Or something that you just found really handy to know.
Yeah, I mean, definitely the to kind of expand a little bit more on that, like that pounding the rock quote. Like,
yeah,
it's just the way you can't take the rejection of pound number 79 and 80 and 81 and 82 and 83. It's like just letting that kind of roll off your shoulders. I feel like early on in my career, I would probably fixate on it a little too much. And
we all do.
Man, I feel like now I have gotten pretty good at like forgetting about an audition entirely the second I press send,
and that's much easier said than done, but you got to protect yourself.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
You only have so much energy to expend, right, on any given day or project or whatever it is. And so it's like 94% of the things we worry about, they say, like, never actually happen. So try to remind myself that. I try to just forget, the project after I submit it and say, here you go, universe. It's up to you now. Which I know as I'm saying this out loud, I'm like, you jerk. It's
Liar.
not that easy. You jerk. I would be yelling at the screen if I heard this right now. But I thought it was gonna sound more poetic, you know? No.
No, you're right. No, it's a healthy thing. It is healthy to try that. I think I'm better at that than I used to be. Used to be like, I haven't heard
Yeah,
about that
exactly.
opportunity.
Exactly. I'm better, and I'm not great at it. Exactly. I'm better at it than I used to be. That's a great way to put it. And it's something you got to keep working toward, you know?
And having that life outside of it, like we were saying, but also that advice that your friend gave you to take, once you get that opportunity, take your space. They hired you for a reason. Use it, be there. You know, they want you to be as present as possible.
Right. Exactly.
Is there, do you have any hocus pocus when you get onto set? Something you've got to walk around the building 5 times backwards for good luck or anything like that?
Not too like superstitious by any means, but I'm a big I definitely use music to like really wake up and warm up and get into the vibes of whatever I'm doing. So
What did you listen to for Black Rabbit?
Oh, I've got a whole playlist. It depends on what scene are we talking, because there's all sorts of different, you know, emotions. I feel like that I would kind of have like in certain songs that you know have a certain emotion or something. I would kind of try to time that up with like scenes that we were doing that day. But
not to I don't want to spoil. Actually, I'll talk about an early episode to not spoil anything. Okay,
Sure.
when he's in the playground and you have the knife out in that first playground scene.
Yes.
What'd you listen to?
What?
For example.
So that was probably a lot of Run the Jewels, which actually it's Killer Mike's and LP's rap duo.
Okay.
And they are the ones who had a song playing during my montage scene in episode 6 where I'm in front of a mirror.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, so they actually ended up that
scene.
So they actually the song playing over that moment is Run the Jewels. So a lot of their stuff was there. There's some early like gritty New York like New York 90s rap was on the playlist. Like Pharaoh Monch, I think is how you say his name.
Okay.
You probably recognize some of the songs, like if you heard them.
I'm
but
old.
Yeah, it's a lot of like obscure 90s artists. But for things like that, it was a lot of like gritty Coney Island, Brooklyn rap. And then for things like later in the series, if my character was more emotional, I would kind of tap into Forrest first through some country music that made me feel, and then get into character and find how I could meet in the middle there. But yeah,
that's okay. I use similar methods, but I've never played anyone quite as dark as your guy. Do you have a well, I guess the most cherished moment on any set?
Oh man, I mean, I feel like
it's hard. I know.
Yeah, no, but honestly, the most like on any set, it would have to be this one. The top to bottom, the Black Rabbit set was just so freaking special. There was 200 or 300 people there, and any one of them I would have spent 3 hours on a Saturday getting a beer with, like top to bottom. They really, and that's all the credit in the world to Jason Bateman, who instituted a forgive my language, but a no assholes policy. No. And that he was, instead of hiring a department head and letting them fill with whoever, he made sure he spoke with every person walking on that set to green light ahead of time. And he's just no assholes policy. And so yeah, that was special. But I truly think that the moment I remember is in kind of in that basement that Mancuso's character, my dad, spends all his time. And when I've got the scene where I'm sitting at the table it's me talking to Troy Kotzer, who's playing my father, and interpreting for Jude Law, and being directed by Jason Bateman, and it's, you know, and I'm prepping scenes for Laura Linney the next day and things, and I'm just like, what am I doing here? Like, that's
It's
a
the
BAFTA winner,
dream.
that's an Emmy winner, that's an Oscar winner. You know, it's just like, and then I'm like, it was so that was probably a really special like pinch me moment. And then on
You're
top of
gonna do
that,
the same though for people coming on set someday. They're gonna be like, "That's that Oscar winner." That's like I honestly, I'm not just like saying it. I've no doubt, no
uh,
doubt. But I'm sorry, you said you had another one, and I
no,
interrupted you.
no, no, you're too kind. Thank you. I just and then the fact that 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 scene incorporated sign language, which was like such a special part of my life and upbringing and my family's life. And my mom, you know, runs a sign language interpreting agency to this
Oh
day.
wow!
So it's been, you know, it's just been a large part of our life for so long. So to see, you know, or to have the opportunity to like use
To bring that
ASL,
all together.
yeah, it was very, it just felt very kismet, you know, very, very meant to be somehow. So I think that was probably like the most special part of it for me.
I assume your sister saw it.
Yes.
What'd she think?
Oh, she was very impressed. She was very, she loved it. And I think it was very, it's significant for deaf culture, for a character like Mancuso to even exist. When Troy Kotsur won the Oscar for Coda, he was on the
Mhm.
Oscars, you know, circuit doing that stuff,
Mhm.
and that's where he met the creators of our show, Zach and Kate. They uh, Zach had been nominated for an Oscar for writing King Richard, the Venus and Serena's father story,
Oh
uh,
yeah.
and yeah, so that's where they met Troy Kotsur, and so they asked him, you know, what interests you nowadays? What sort of role are you like salivating to play that you've never got the opportunity to? And he said, the villain, like easy, the villain. Like nobody's casting a deaf villain, and they should, like, because people can be all sorts of things. Like, you know, like it's just
Yeah.
really, yeah. It was just something that hadn't had representation on anything to this level or near this level to this point. So that was a really cool moment, I think, for a lot of deaf culture to see a
Without it even
villain.
feeling like a gimmick, as it probably could in other projects.
Right. And again, all the credit to the writers and creators, and
Yeah.
Troy as an actor is phenomenal. But yeah, it was not, yeah, gimmicky at all, or a
Not at all.
character in any way. It was just, yeah, really, really, really cool to see him be able to do that.
Is there a dream opportunity? I know you just had it, but is there one thing you're like, I want to work with this director, this actor, do this kind of project? Is there a dream opportunity?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I first and foremost, primarily, like before I try not to, like, I call it like end gaining or something. I try not to like focus on like the
The want?
final, yeah, the final want, or the final, you know, oh, it has to be this. But I
Mhm.
try to really savor any opportunity to be a part of something meaningful is really what I want. I want the projects that I accept for the rest of my career to be projects that make people think and talk and change preconceived notions, and you know, tackle ideas and tough subjects.
We
But
need
that,
that in these times.
yeah, like it was really enthralling to be a part of, you know, something that I felt mattered as much as Black Rabbit, and it felt great to be relied on that much. So now that I've got the, like, you know, bullshit answer out the way, but that is really is how I
No,
feel. That
I believe
really
you.
is how I feel. But of course, like, who doesn't want to work on, you know, like a Scorsese project, or I would really love to do like a modern day Western, you
Of
know. Like,
course you
I would,
do. And your wife
yeah,
would do the soundtrack.
I would, oh man, yeah, right. I would really love to, like, yeah, be a gritty cowboy, you know, shooting something up.
But you've done stuff like that. What's that? Tater Tot and Patton. That's like sort of a Western thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it was set on a ranch. Yeah.
Okay.
So I was like, the charming ranch hand.
Okay, you got your
Which, like,
setting.
yeah, I played a lot of like charming Southern, sweethearts until I took like edgy headshots one time, and
And
then
that made the
suddenly
difference.
it was like, oh, you're gonna play the racist and the rapist and the neo-Nazi and the human trafficker and the and you're just
Yeah.
like, oh, okay.
So the headshots matter, everyone. Make sure to get headshots of the characters you want to
It's-
play.
Yeah, I would have not believed it if I hadn't lived it. But yeah, it really changed the auditions that started coming across the desk.
Well, given the question you asked, this is kind of separate, but given the question you asked of Jason Bateman, do you want to direct? I mean, I know you've been doing some videos, but would you want to make your own film? Make that Western?
Yeah, I mean,
Make
absolutely.
Unforgiven?
Absolutely. I hope that directing is in my future.
There's no reason it can't be.
Right. No, I appreciate that. It's also something I don't want to rush either. I did direct a short a few years back that we kind of shelved as a learning experience, and then the production company actually just recently picked it back up because it just subject matter is super timely right now with like world events, and it's a comedy, but it's pretty timely.
All you can do is laugh right now.
Right.
So yeah.
Right. But it's like so yeah, I do have some experience in it, and yeah, I would love to. I kind of briefly mentioned earlier, like it's just it feels great to be relied on set, and I've everybody has to rely on the director, like to some degree. So it's I mean it would be an enormous honor and amount of responsibility, but yeah, I definitely love being creatively in control. So I would love to someday direct something in that nature. But yeah,
whatever that something is, I can't wait to see it, but I will wait because I don't want to rush you. But let's get to your earlier you said the word sweaty for your kiss and tell. Can't wait. What is it?
So when I first got cast as Junior, I find out I got there after a couple weeks of being held in limbo. I find out I got the role. It is like you
must have been like exploding first of all in that moment. You're like, oh my god, I got it.
Yes, absolutely. It was very surreal, but it was also I didn't want to again count any chickens before they hatch. I was trying
I
to
got you.
I was like trying not to get too excited about it. But we started filming in the summer of 24, and so my character is this rougher around the edges, but wanna be fancy pretty boy, but wanna be gangster, not pretty boy at all, like really cringe, kind of bravado.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're filming, in the beginning of summer, and I'm like, okay, I realized the other names attached to this project, and then me, right? I am the odd man out. Like I am the one that doesn't belong on paper. Like, and so despite the fact that it was 98 degrees in the city, in the thick of summer, I'm showing up to day one of rehearsal with black hoodie, leather jacket over the hoodie, and I'm going,
a sweater.
I'm going, dude, wear exactly what you wore in the audition, because it is still early enough for some producer to look at you and go, well, that's not what I wanted for Junior, so let's recast.
Yeah, because they only know you on Zoom.
Right. I was like, go in, be that, like, don't. I was like taking zero chances. So I'm in there the first day of rehearsal, just sweating my butt off, like in leather, and everyone's like, are you hot? I'm like, I'm good.
And they're probably like, he's so nervous.
I was just trying so hard to just not mess anything up, you know. It was like so early on. I was like, we have not shot a thing yet. Like, you just be Junior the whole time. But then finally, like probably 2 weeks into shooting or so, Jason Bateman pulls me aside, and he just kind of gave me that reassuring, like, we are really thrilled with what you're doing. You know Junior more than any of us know Junior, so trust that, ride that. Like, you found who this human being is. And he was like, so if you're gonna hear other people who have ideas or this or that, you take it all with a grain of salt, because you know who Junior is more than anybody else here.
What a gift of confidence that instilled.
Gift was exactly the word I was going to use. I was like, the amount of like weight that just, you know, flew off the shoulders in that moment was I'm just so grateful to him. And it really, and Jude was the same way, you know, telling me, you know, he's like, take big swings. You're hitting every time, like, keep doing it. And it was just so freeing to have people at that level, you know, being that collaborative and supportive and letting me know that in their eyes, I belonged at the table with them. And that it meant the world to me then. It really, really freed me up to, I think, do some of my better work. And just extremely grateful for that. So, but
and not to do injustice to them, but you outshined everybody, and everyone did great.
Oh, no.
But man, I want to just wait. Did I cut you off? Because I think you're going to say one more thing about that.
No. Please, you're good. Yeah.
I don't know. Did the Emmys happen yet? I just want to congratulate you in advance for your nomination.
Oh, stop.
I'm the first one to say it. Congratulations.
Oh, stop. Thank you, though. That's very kind of you. If you know, I'll tell my mom you said that, and maybe I'll pretend you're on the board or something. And
I will join the board. Just I don't even need to. It's gonna. Congratulations in advance.
You're
thank you so much for your time. Is there anything you want to promote or talk about or suggest people check out before I let you?
Stay tuned for the Coastal Country album, because it's going to be nothing like we've put out in the past, and I'm really, really excited. I've had my hands deep in this project, and really
Lauren James,
Lauren
Jaimes.
Yes. And I'm shooting a feature called Nest, and it's going to be like a horror thriller out in LA. So it'll probably be like a year before it's out. Who knows? But we haven't even.
I love horror. Do you know that?
Yes.
Do you like horror?
I do. Yeah. My wife, not so much, but
I host another show. I don't mean to take your time down the road, but you have to be a guest on my horror show.
That sounds great. Let's do it.
Okay, we'll talk. But anyway, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Look out for your projects,
dude. Thank you. And I've always been a fan of yours, so I really appreciate you having me on, man. I've looked up to you since the American Odyssey days, so you keep up the good work, brother. It's
a genuine honor to have you on here. I'm so excited for what's to come, and there's going to be a lot. Likewise. So take care. Stand by for a second. Goodbye, everyone else. Like, share, tell your friends, and can they follow you on Instagram, or is that like a private one?
Please do. Yeah. 44 FORR. It's easy.
You got it. Thank you, Forrest. Hang on one second. Goodbye, everyone else.
These are the parts I play, filling in plot holes with all sorts of